Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Gray Man Prepping. It's time for another fabulous, fantastic Tactical Tuesday. We'll cover tactics, gear, and more. And tonight's topic is one that is bugging the heck out of me. Don't wait, prep now. How's everybody doing out there? So I got the team with me to get the point across. And well, first of all, let's say hi to everybody. First one in at several hours ago, 3 hours ago, my time, was CR, Creative Redundancy. Then Prairie Rider came in. Then Walt Rogers, Phelan Clan Wolf, Shadow Scout Swede, and Checked Off is here. And I'm going to go back to Checked Off. Hoping to get seed stuff ordered. Don't wait too long. Some of the places are already running out of stuff. I was on MI Gardner. Some of the seeds I wanted to get were sold out already. All right, Moon Over Miami. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Idaho Garden Girl. Let's see, Sarah Boss is in the house. Sure don't miss anybody as I scroll down as everybody's talking to each other. Josh at Skinner Farms is here. Rebel Canners is in the house. Okay, yeah, she's heading to bed, so she'll watch it again tomorrow. There should be some interesting tantrums here on my part. All right, let's see here. CB at Hugo Homestead is in the house. Okay, this is interesting. The timestamps on StreamYard here is following through, but when I make a comment over on the YouTube one, when I say hi to everybody beforehand, my timestamp for my comment was, even though it's like I said, 8 o'clock, and then it said 7:58 for mine, and then 8:01, 8:01. It's totally off. You know, YouTube is totally screwed up on stuff. Howie, Food Forest Permaculture is in the house. Woohoo! And everybody's chatting. Good. Get connected. Say hi to friends. Oh. And CR fires the shot across the bow of everybody in here. 0 degrees, minus 17 degrees Fahrenheit, Celsius. Woohoo! And I froze for a second. Before this, I was watching Mac and Patty, Southern Blessed Homestead. And some people were commenting about their temperatures and stuff. So I went outside, checked the thermometer on the back door and on the shop. The back door said 5 degrees. The one on the shop, I think it said 0. It said 2. It was like 1 or 0. It was right in there. It's supposed to get down to minus 10 here tonight. Stay hydrated, everybody. I don't care if it's winter or not. Stay hydrated. If you don't want to drink plain water, have some hot apple cider, some hot chocolate. Coffee is a diuretic, so you really don't want to have that. Tea. Have a nice tea. All right. Checked Off says they were minus 7 last night. Power went out. Had a wood stove. Good. And minus 7 where Skinner Farms is at. And CR says warmer than minus 35. Yeah, I remember when we had that polar vortex. I had my thermal temperature gun going out there, and the trash can sitting out the back door there said minus 28 on it. Oh, man. Hey, Kimberly, welcome in. All right. Take care, Sarah. All right. So tonight's topic. All righty. What brought this about? Well, believe it or not, there are some. How do I want to put this? Let me go this way here. How do I want to put this? This is going to sound rude and very not nice. There are some Adam Henry. You figure out what Adam Henry stands for. Channels out there that are putting out. Oh, you don't need to put, store up a bunch of stuff. Store money, and that way, when the whatever disaster is, then you can go buy the supplies you need for that disaster when it happens. No, because when it happens, you go rushing to the store. It's going to be, where's all the food and stuff? It's like, all right, example. Don, WD Glock and Roll has been posting some videos. They were without power for a while, and he was made some trips into town, and he goes walking into filming the grocery store. They got several of the aisles blocked off, so you can't go down aisles. He turns over and looks at the meat supplies and dairy stuff. They're empty. Everything was gone from over there. And I commented, it looks like they had a power outage and no generator. And he replied back, oh, they had a generator, but they ran out of fuel. So they had to throw everything out. And people, and so people were, now, the down trees were getting out of the way. People were coming into the store to get stuff. And they're limiting what they can get, where they can go, how many people in the store. And there's no meat, no dairy, nothing. So you can have all the money you want. You can't buy it if it's not there. Exactly. All right, hang on a second. I'm going to throw this up for those I want to come on up here. There's that. Let me link it to the top here. Pin message. Okay, so it's pinned to the top there. Okay, what was that? Trying to read the comment here. I saw a comment there. I didn't see it over here. Okay, so there it is. Okay, the problem is that one time you don't know if you're going to get if you're getting dehydrated. Yeah, it's much. Yeah, that's just it. Because in the wintertime, especially when the temperatures are below freezing, all the moisture is frozen out of the air, so the humidity plummets. Well, your lungs and your nose and your mouth and your throat all need some humidity. And if it's, if you're down to like 28 or lower humidity, and like here one time it got down to 22 before I realized, crap, I don't have the wood burning stove going with those 3 big pots of water, putting moisture back in the air, and I had to take care of something. And yeah, I was froze. I was waking up with dry, bloody noses because it was so dry. So, Devil Dog Prepper, welcome in. And when I'm working out in the shop like I was before I started, before I came back into catch a little bit of up on Southern Bluffs Homestead and get everything finalized, I was out there working, and it's below freezing out there, so there's no moisture in the air. So I'm really dehydrated myself out there. All right, so let's get on with the stuff. Oh, wait a minute. And then, was it yesterday or the night before? A certain well-doing channel down under titled one, "You Don't Need to Prep." I didn't even watch the video because I just went livid. Why are you putting that BS out there? Because there's people that that are on the fence that are going to see that and go, well, they're saying it right there. I don't have to watch the video. They said it all right on their thumbnail. You don't need to prep. And it's like, they're going to get people killed. And so that's why I'm doing this as a counter thing to that. And so if you guys want to share this out after you see it, feel free. All right. Procrastination is the thief of time. Basically, if you put stuff off, you're losing time. And in the case of prepping, you're losing the opportunity to get your supplies. And not only that, I don't want to go that big. There we go. Not only that, you're losing the time to sit. You're losing the opportunity to save money by getting the stuff while it's cheaper and not being, the prices aren't inflating. If you were to, all right, example, December 17th, approximately, 2019. I was eyeballing hard an All-American 41.5 quart pressure canner. And I almost hit the bipin. Wait a while longer. And then the Red Dragon came. And I got distracted. And I didn't go back and hit the button. And 6 weeks later, it had doubled in price. 2 months later, that price, it doubled in price again. So it's now 4 times what it was originally. It's like, what the? Oh, yeah, I was kicking myself. And when, so this, time is not only a thief, procrastination is not only a thief of time, it's a thief of money. All right? Wrong way, sorry. There we go. Get me right. Okay. If you're unprepared, you are unprepared because you can't get prepared at a drop of a hat. It's like, oh, whoops. Oh, crap. The meteors are falling, or the bombs, or whatever it is, or the earthquakes. And it's going to be, oops, I didn't get prepared. And because you're not prepared, oops, it's either going to be you or someone you love going in that hole because you didn't get prepared. And there we go. Those are just some things I want to do. And so let me see, check the thing out. Okay, I'm just looking up here, trying to, all right, yeah, stupid is as stupid does. And then, experience does help. All right, so Perry Rider is going to go dehydrate some fruit. She's prepping. Good, yes, getting that stuff stored up. Buying stuff now, the market has a chance to respond. Companies can know to make more. Yeah, if everybody's not buying and the company has all the stuff that all the preppers are going to want, and nobody's buying it, and they're like, oh, crap, they're struggling. Whereas everybody would be buying the stuff, they could get it earlier, and the companies could make more easier. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. People say you don't need to prepare are the dangerous ones. They'll be the ones going out and going after what little people have. And it's just all right. Froze. Everybody in the chat, if you have been in your country's military, even a little bit, please put a 1 in the chat. I want to do a little survey here. So if you've been served in the military, put a 1 in the chat. If you didn't serve in the military, but you served in a government organization or a law enforcement organization, put a 2. If you did both, put a 3. All right, so we got 1, 2, we got 3 of them so far that served in the military. Hey, Cold War prepper, welcome in. Yeah. Devil Dog says 3. Yeah. Yeah, I never served in the military. My wife did, staff sergeant. However, out of high school, I went to work for the county sheriff's department. And I've been in bouncing between law enforcement and construction all my life. And then I went into the private sector just before 2000, 2000, the Y2K stuff. And I was doing corporate work with companies getting them prepared for Y2K. And I was the supervisor for security at Chevron Texaco's corporate headquarters when 9/11 happened, and I got a friend of mine called me up and recruited me. Okay, we got 2 1s, 1 3, 1 2. Okay, those that have been in law enforcement or in the military or both, what do they do a lot? Train, practice, get prepared for when stuff goes. And anyone says you don't need to get prepared. Now, everybody in the chat that is planting a garden or has planted a garden, put a 4 in the chat. Shadow was in the Army for 10 months. All right, checked off's planting a garden. Prairie Riders planting a garden. Idaho Garden Girls planting a garden. I'm planting a garden. Staff Sergeant's planting a garden. CR has a garden. Double Dog Prepper has a garden. Gee, if you're planting a garden, what are you doing right now? Ordering seeds. You're preparing for the spring's for plant for the seed. What's plants you're going to plant in the spring. You're also planning out where you're going to plant, how you're going to arrange your garden, because you don't want to plant the same things in the same spot all at the same time over and over and over again, because that area will get depleted. You rotate it up so one plant takes out stuff and puts different stuff in. The next one does just the opposite. All right, Kimberly. Starting an indoor garden with new seedlings. Yes. Arkman. Ark Wildman Survival. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, it's I tell you, it just infuriates me when I see these channels out there telling people you don't need to prepare. You just need to stock up on gold and silver and you'll be good, when the time comes, or stockpile cash and coins and stuff. So when something happens, you can quickly run out and buy the supplies you need for whatever the event is, whether it's an earthquake, a tornado, whatever it is. That's one of the things I got in a big fight with somebody when I worked at Homeland Security. There was an idiot down in over in FEMA who was under me, because I was the emergency management coordinator for Homeland Security, and FEMA was under me. And I was saying, kept putting out on the website, you only need to have a 72-hour kit. And I sent an email directly to him and said, no, you're wrong. You need to stop saying that. You're going to get people killed. They need to have at least 7 to 10 days, just like we say in the CERT program. Well, what are you doing? And he went back. So I called his boss and ragged on his boss about what this guy was doing and what was going to happen. And so his boss changed the website, 7 to 10 days of supplies minimum. He changed it back 2 weeks later. And then a month later, Katrina hits. And after that, Rita hits down there. And there's all these people. With Rita, people woke up because they had a chance to get more supplies from after Katrina. And it was, there were so many people said, well, we had a 72-hour kit. It took you guys almost a week to find us. Yeah. Hey, Brother Donnie, prep for Eternity Homestead. Yeah, 10 years supply. And as much of it as you can, home can, because it will last in jars, because it'll last longer than stuff in cans. Hey, Kaylin, how's it going? Yeah, and so this is one of the things, like I say, I mean, this really just perturbs me no end, chaps my hide. Um, oh, you don't know what I so want to take after the fat electrician right now and just start firing off stuff. I don't want to get bleeped out and everything. Yeah. Hey, Mary Beth Smith. There is no excuse for anyone to tell someone not to prepare unless they're planning on that person failing, and dying. And then they can go in and get whatever supplies they do have, whether it's guns, clothing, money, whatever they have. If they don't have food and stuff, it's just, hey, Laura, how's it going? And it's just so irritating when you get these people saying you don't need to prepare. That's why I put the team up here. These guys are prepared for just about any contingency. Let's see. I'm just keeping track on this chat there for a second there. Yes, I say prepping is a marathon, not a sprint, which means you got to start that marathon now. You can't go run out and do a 24-mile run in 30 seconds down at the down to the grocery store and get all your supplies. You need to start getting supplies, learning more skills, learning what works, what doesn't work. Like CR says, make mistakes now while the grids are open rather than later. Yeah. And it's just, hey, Grammy Karen, how's it going? And that's the thing, is people don't realize, and it's like, especially the ones that say don't plant a garden now. Those are also idiots that are going to get people killed. Saying, you got seeds, you stockpile seeds, you don't worry about planting now. Yeah, you need to worry about planting, because you may discover that the seeds you get barely do anything in your zone until until you're able to grow some, harvest seeds from that, plant it again, and they get acclimated to that zone, and then they'll start producing more. Plus, you need to find out what sort of pests you're going to have in your area going after your crops. If you have to worry about the cabbage moth, it's better to know, hey, there's a cabbage moth problem. I need to get those little yellow sticky things and the traps and stuff to try to trap the cabbage moth so they don't wipe out my plants. And you also need to find out, oh, wait a minute, the hornworm is big in this area, so I need to do something about the tomato hornworms. Hey, Southern Bliss Homestead, Mac and Patty are in the house. And so you need to practice gardening so you can learn what works, what doesn't work, what problems there are, what are the solutions to those problems. Once the grocery store is still there, where you can go get food at the grocery store if and when your garden fails. Exactly. You're not going to be planting a garden in the snow, so you better have a year's worth of food put up. It's just, I'm sorry. Like I said at the beginning, this is going to be a rant session on these idiots out there that are telling people you don't need to prepare. You just need, prepare is getting all the supplies and stuff. You can just get, just stockpile money, gold bars, silver bars, whatever. And when a disaster happens, you can run out there and get the supplies you need. And, like I said, what Don at WD Glock and Roll was showing the stores, there in Oregon, all the refrigerated food had to be tossed out because They lost power. The generator ran out of fuel. They weren't prepared enough of long enough fuel for the generator, enough fuel for the generator to run long enough for the power to come back on. And they had to toss everything. And then they were limiting what people could get because people were such a mad rush to get in there, and they were letting them only take, a day or two's worth of food because the store was trying to spread it out to everybody because the trucks weren't making it in there. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, yeah. CR said the early bird gets the worm. Yeah, if you're early prepping, you're going to get the good stuff. And Howie says, "Guy, have to get some sleep. Big snow coming." All right, take care, Howie. Yeah, Graham Karen, not prepping and waiting and running out and getting stuff is not a formula for success. Yeah, you can't buy skills or experience with a gold bar. No. What is it saying? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And planning to procrastinate is planning to fail because you need to be doing stuff now. Same happened to the grocery stores and gas station convenience stores in the area around Drake's University and my mosque. They had to toss thousands of dollars worth of food because they didn't have generators or they didn't have enough fuel for the generators. And that's one of the things. Like when I was in the private sector prior to Y2K, Bank of America's data center in Concord, I was there setting them up. They had 5 locomotive engines sitting on the roof of Building D with generators. They could run the entire facility off of 2 generators, but they had 5. Why did they have 5? Oops, these 2 broke down. These 2 went down. We got 3 more to work off of. Oop, another went down. Oh, we got this one back up. That's the plan. The plan was to have enough so they could fix things. Hey, Jay. Actually, Jay, I'm somebody's silent partner. I fronted them the money to buy the new airplane. Oh, the TP. Oh, here in Idaho Falls, when they put out the blizzard warning, they dropped the blizzard warning. We went and what, I forget what time it was. It was around noon. It was at noon. We were still at winter weather warning. Shoot. Trying to remember which one's. But anyway, they went from the warning, skipped over to the advisory, skipped over the winter weather watch, skipped over the blizzard warning, skipped over the blizzard advisory to the blizzard watch. And I think I got the number right. It might be the watch and warning may be backwards, but advisory is in the middle. So they went from here to here, saying, oh, from less than ½ inch possible to 1 to 8 inches possible. There were lines. They had every register open at, people were posting online. They had every register open at Winco, and the lines were to the back of the store. Number one things people were getting: bread, milk, toilet paper were the 3 main things people were getting. And Winco doesn't have that much toilet paper, so they were out almost immediately of toilet paper. And then they were getting ground beef, pork chops, and meats and stuff like that. And it was like, and one of the persons there go, was anybody getting cans of soup? Was anybody getting chili and beans? Was anybody getting like Dinty Moore beef stew? And the person replied back, No, thank you. I'm going back for those. I was like, jeez. Yeah, it's just one of those things having not Suladin's making soap a new hobby. Okay, I missed something here. Yeah. Okay. There will come a time in recovery rebuilding phase where you can employ those skills and experiences. Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, and Chekhov, you're right. Skill development can't happen at the last minute. That's why I've been saying it at the end of the um, the last 2 months worth of your prep work today, and now all my exercise videos. Learn a new skill every month. Learn a new skill. Des Moines Waterworks had to buy new pumps and generators after the 93 flood plus built flood wall around the treatment plant. Yeah. Here we in the city council meeting we're talking about is how old the pumps are and all the stuff about the pumps to the water system and stuff and what the state requirements and they've been getting I forget what it's called. Basically, it's a voltage controller, so they have variable speed pumps and they have voltage controllers on it. So they're not trying to put out full pressure if there's not a lot of water being used. And so it matches it keeps the pressure at a certain set level. And if everybody starts using water, it gives it more voltage and then it can pump. That way the pumps aren't, pushing against the head and burning out. But they were also saying we need to think about replacing 3 of those pumps because hard water they are wearing out and stuff. So so that's one of the things that city's thinking about here is getting new pumps and stuff. People got arrested over TP in some areas. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of lost on that one. Okay, Caitlin got up to 7 degrees today. Wind chill bumped it back down to advisory. Jay was 4 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Suladin says Utah missed the latest storm. Right now it's 25 degrees. A lot of people at work over the weekend had pipes that froze. Wayne, the ungrateful peasant, is in the house. Devil dog preppers, everyone going through ahead. Everyone's talking about Zuckerberg bunker. Oh, not only that, I know you can ask Kaylin, you can ask Idaho Garden Girl. Check out what Suspicious Observers, what Ben Davidson is talking about Zuckerberg's location of his bunker. Wrong location to be in. I'm behind you on the chat trying to catch up here. Russians ration that I've been doing live reviews. Had Hammer, those are in person. Okay. Yeah, Mac, you would know that working at Walmart. You probably see the skill people have in stealing from others. Jay, if you like, you need to go watch Suspicious Observers. The winter freezing of the glaciers is outpacing the melting of the glaciers. The glaciers are actually building up, but the mainstream media won't report on it. Excellent, Joran. Excellent. I just been getting some 4-month-old comments as well coming in. And he finished up with they're still alive. Okay. All right. There we go. And just catching up here, trying to catch up on it. Yes. And not only that, farther away from the oceans, but it has to do with if that happens in about 15 years to next 60 years. Yeah, exactly. But there are some people who build stuff like that, and they have a very intense list for people that want to pay to get in on it. So, of course, when they're building some stuff, they're probably not telling them what they're building. Probably making up some other thing, a cover story for it that's just going to, Anyways. Yeah, it was about 4 weeks ago. I got a batch that was 3 or 4 months old, and there was nothing wrong with nothing in the wording why they were held. Yeah, YouTube's they got idiots in their programming stuff, so they that are interested in job security. So they screw something up, make it look like someone else screwed it up, and they're the ones that can fix it. So yeah. Yeah. And especially and having the excavator in there for 2 days digging and getting it all set up and everything before that bunker comes in. But yeah, it's so if anybody talks to you, friends, relatives, neighbors and stuff, hey, I've been seeing these things on a couple of these channels on YouTube saying we don't need to prepare. Just kind of say, yeah, I've seen those too. I've heard about those. A lot of people think that those are going to be the guys that don't want you to prepare with firearms or rifles or too much food and stuff. They want to be able to come in and after you starve to death and you pick up whatever supplies you have and take it all back to their place. Yeah, and that's something, especially when they bring in one of those round bunkers in. Oh yeah, it's a backup septic tank. But if anybody asks you about it, tell them, hey, yeah, people are saying don't do something that's good, like good for your safety. Like ones that are saying don't buy insurance, you don't need auto insurance. You would not believe all the ads I've been getting over the last 8 years saying, first in California, you don't need it. California, say goodbye to your having to buy auto insurance in California. Check this out. It's obviously a scam thing. Now I'm getting it up here in Idaho, same thing. Anyone that's saying you don't need to have insurance, yeah, you never can tell when something's going to happen, like getting kidney stones. 3 days before Christmas, or 4 days before Christmas. And I know Kaylin doesn't have auto insurance. That's because you don't have an auto yet. One of these days, Kaylin's going to find that winning lottery ticket laying on the ground there, and she's going to be, I have to go to driver's ed now. I can buy a car. Yeah, you don't have to wait on hold for sitting in an office for an hour just to talk to somebody. Not anymore. Checked off. Last Thursday night, I talked about this. Gay Van Nuisance, the great nuisance of California. Everyone, all the retailers are screaming so loud. He said it's time to crack down on shoplifters. He goes, oh, you tell he did not want to have to do that. True, Jay. If she won the lottery, she'd just hire a driver. Yeah, there she is. Yeah. I get a driver included with the car. Yeah. And along the same lines of medical stuff, deviating slightly, on the 27th, Saturday, the 27th, let me make sure I got that. Yeah, the 27th, here on Gray Man Prepping, and it's going to be the primary channel. And I'm also going to stream it over to Camp Family Compound. I have Doc Bones and Nurse Amy coming on, and we're going to be talking about some of these things that can affect us in simple things that can really affect us. And simple things like if you haven't stocked up on the fish mocks or any of that stuff, now you can't get it, or it's very hard to get it. You got to go around the back door way to get it now. You need antibiotics. If you don't have it, you get a step on a nail or something, or get a nasty cut on something that's not you get some you can get infected really quick on it. No, Jay, they're making arrests. They're making arrests and prosecuting now, and it just irks his hide because these are all the people we invited to come in here for free, and tell them we were going to give them free stuff. Yeah, you have to have prep supplies well-rounded on your prepping. Oh, someone finally got an ad. Ooh, a 30-second one. Okay, a 30-second one you can live through. Easy. Jeez. Walt replied back. He saw an ad on yesterday's exercise video. And it's the first one he's seen on any of my videos in a month and a half, 2 months. Yeah. If things really go sideways and south, the hospital ain't going to have any supplies to give out after the first week. But you need to be well-rounded in your supplies. That's why I said I list off five things to check on. Water is your number one failure point, because for most preppers, homesteaders and such, because people don't have enough water if their source of water is cut off. Now, if you happen to have a well or a stream nearby, or like me, I got the Snake River, quarter mile away, and I got an irrigation ditch. Well, we can go up there and pull and just run water down the irrigation ditch from the Snake River, so we can pull water. But if you have a well and stuff, you have backup to make sure you have your water. Otherwise, you need to have water. Like Kaylin says, she can only store so much water in her apartment. Food, because water. You also 3 days without water, the average person dies. Food, 3 weeks without food, the average person dies. Yeah, so food's your next one you need to have, and on your food, you got to make sure you're storing what you eat and you eat what you store. Medicine. Been talking about medicine here. All medicines that you need and use. Coffee needs water. Water equals life. So medicine, over-the-counter medicines, any prescription medicines. So sometimes when you go in for your checkup, you can talk to your doctor and say, hey, this is what's going on. Can you write me a prescription so I can have some antibiotics on hand in case things go that and the ones that I want the powder ones, not the liquid ones, not the gel ones, because the powder ones last 20, 30 years, according to the Department of Homeland Security when they did their tests. Clothing. If you're having to work in the garden, if things have gone and you're having to work in the garden to raise all your food, you're going to be wearing out your clothes a lot faster. So you need stuff to repair those clothes and replace those clothes. Work boots, extra work boots. Learn a new skill. Like Cold War Purpose said, skills can, in the recovery can become very useful then, but skills prior to the recovery and stuff, learning how to butcher your meat, process your meat and stuff, whether it's chickens, goats, deer, moose, bear, cattle, whatever. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing Naked Gardening Day. And that is a thing. I'm not sure when it is, but Courtney White Family Farm will be talking about it. So will Glenn at How to Garden. They'll all be making jokes about it and doing, things. Yes, fish. How to properly process the fish you catch. And preserving these, canning them, salting them, dehydrating them, jerking, making jerky out of the different meats and stuff. Hey, Vision Preparedness, how's it going? Yeah, there's lots of different ways to cure meat. If Uncle Al's up here, man, he'd be rattling off 6 different ways to cure meat, blah, 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 like that. And then he would make pemmican. So, so once again, these idiots that are out there telling people, you don't need the prep. They're setting those people up to fail, to die. And it's just bleep, 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 bleep. That's what I feel like. So, if you get a chance, okay, hang on. Something just popped up here. Give me a second here. I want to take a look at this over here just to see what's going on over here. This is coming up from yeah. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up on the over here on the other side here. So hang on a second. Let's go ahead and because that just came in. Let me drop this down, get that out of the way, and show all. There it is. Oh, wrong one. I want to see that one. There we go. That one I'm going to bring over here. All right. This is from WD Glock and Roll, and it's Storm Shopping. This is his short, and the stuff is coming up, and they got stuff in here. Stuff marked off. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not playing the audio. This aisle's closed. This aisle's closed. Some of the food up there is probably spoiled because the generators were out and haven't tossed those yet. So yeah, they're he says things are crazy in the stores. What's going on? What they can and can't buy. So you notice that they're blocking off the refrigerated section where the refrigerators were without power for a day or so. And so all of that food is considered spoiled. So check out WD Glock and Roll. He's got several other videos like this. Give him a thumbs up. There we go. But yeah. There we go. Yeah, I know. And that's, all right, getting back to Y2K. When I was working at Bank of America with those the 7 locomotives they had on the roof, we had them replace all the D8 batteries they had up there to start them. And here we go. Well, these are only a couple years old. Have you been testing every one to make sure they're all at 100%? No. Well, get new ones. And get those ones gone, because they're not going to, if one of them starts failing, you're going to lose them all. You can lose your generators. So they replaced all the generators. Then when the vice president caught on me telling the maintenance people that, he goes, he came up and he goes, should we replace all of our batteries in the UPS rooms? They had rooms just filled with these banks of batteries. The entire facility ran off the batteries. They had rectifiers feeding the batteries and generators to feed the batteries, and the power from the power company gave out. So they, so I told them, what do you think? I actually asked them, what do you think? Is that a good idea? When was the last time they were changed out? And the next thing I know, he's scheduling to have all of them taken replaced over the next 3 weekends. And they just massive amount of batteries coming in and batteries going out. These are batteries they had a contract with the company went and recycled the batteries. But and then I went and looked at into their on-hand fuel, and it was like they had enough to run several of those generators for one day. Several, not all of them. And they wound up bringing in 3 5,000-gallon fuel tanks and putting them on site so they could run for several weeks. And they run, and now what they do every Saturday for an hour, they fire up all the generators, and run them for a while, an hour or so, but they do it every Saturday, and sometimes they'll do it on Sunday as well, just to use up the fuel. They got fuel stabilizer in it. They go through the fuel, and when they empty one tank, they switch over to the next one and bring fresh fuel in. Proper planning. They're planning ahead. They're rotating their fuel, using it. Plus, they are pumping out of the tanks. They set the tanks up so they can fill up their diesel trucks they have, the pickups and stuff, and diesel vehicles they have. Aiden here, hey, how's it going? So that was one of the things that happened in the private sector back in Y2K, getting ready for Y2K. And people that say, "Oh, you don't need to prepare," it's like even the corporations prepare. The federal government has a document called COOP, Continuity of Operations Plan. Just about every corporation has adopted a COOP. So if something happens to their primary location for whatever it is, they can go elsewhere. During the winter storms back in DC, and when they had the little earthquake back there, that little 5-pointer, it scared the hell out of everybody, and people in California laughing at them like, that ain't nothing. They go up, they have several different sites 75 miles away from Washington, D.C., where they sent teams up there, brought those sites up, moved more people. Then they shut down the main facilities and moved the people up there so they keep HR going for Homeland Security. HR needs to run 24/7, and several other departments were kept going to keep everything functioning, even though the buildings there in DC had when they had a hurricane come in and a winter storm lost. They knew they were going to lose power, so they shifted teams up there, opened up the COOP facilities, and kept going. Hey, Teresa, how's it going? So there's, you got to take a clue, and you tell your friends and neighbors, take a clue. If the government and major corporations are planning to be able to continue to work and operate in a disaster, shouldn't we be getting prepared to be able to continue to function as families and groups in a disaster too? So anyone telling you, oh, you don't need to prep, you just need to have money on hand so you can buy it, you ain't gonna be able to buy it. Especially if what happens shuts down the supply chain like that. If something shuts down the supply chain, it's no, there ain't no more food coming in. And if it happens to be, even if it's temporary, like we get a good CME aimed at Earth and the grid goes and the grid's down for several days, you're not going to be able to go out and buy food. You don't know it's only going to be down for a couple of days, because you know that any news organization that has all their backups and stuff is going to be broadcasting, oh, everything's down. It's going to be years before everything comes back up. They'll be spreading panic just because they can. Nothing sells ratings like panic. And, people say, oh, you can go out and buy it. No, you can't. You will not be able to go out and buy in certain disasters. It's just not going to happen. Exactly. Why be more a burden on others or the system? Yeah. Like I warned everybody at the beginning, I've mentioned a couple of times too. Yeah, this is a rant session that has me really perturbed, pissed off, friggin' mad. And it's just, I hate these idiots out there that are spreading misinformation and getting people set up to fail and to die. And that's what they're doing. They're setting people up to die. Okay, so when I volunteered for a little Fed look, when the activity fizzled out, and it's kept up I just kept all the food and hygiene products I had. Yeah, there. I know several people have done that with the pet things too. Yeah, if you can't get your normal doctor to get you your medications, Jace Medical is one way of getting stuff. There are several other ones too. There are also ways where you can get stuff. You're going to pay for it for Jace for the service. They're charging a service to get the stuff, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But if you can do a little shopping and do things right, you can probably save that money on that and pick it up elsewhere. Yeah. And that's probably that's I wasn't going to mention that, but that's a possibility. But yeah, and that's one of the reasons why the government has clamped down on pet stores selling the fish mocks, because it is the exact same thing as the amoxicillin for people. It's just at the same plant. They just, okay, we're going to label these bottles now as fish mocks, the exact same stuff. And now they say, you have to have a prescription to get the fish mocks from. You can only get it either from the pet supply places or from a veterinary. a veterinarian. So yeah, well, I'm lucky, Wayne. If my doctor, which I haven't seen in quite a few years, he delivered all my kids. He delivered all my brother's kids. He delivered all my sister-in-law's kids. Yeah, and my brother and I did worked in trade down at. He wanted stuff done at his house, and we worked in trade doing landscaping and stuff for him. He's a prepper. He had no qualm in getting my brother a bunch of supplies too. So yeah, so we hit the top here. Let me bring something up over here. Let me drop that down, get that back up. There we go. All right, so coming up here. So I've already mentioned once on the 27th on Saturday, Survival Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific. I'll have Doc Bones and Nurse Amy on here. And I'm going to stream it to both channels. So, and they'll probably be streaming it to their channel as well. All right, let's see here. Coming up Thursday night is Midnight Ride. The 5-minute countdown starts at 5 minutes to midnight on Thursday evening. Friday night on the Homestead, Camp Patton Family Compound. The shelves are stocked, but who's lacking? Figure that one out. I think you might figure out what I'm going to be doing on that one. This Saturday on Survival Saturday with the doctors, we're going to be talking diet versus diet versus diet. Things you can do to substitute in your diet when they're not available is one of the top part of the topics of that. Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound for the Monday Night Fireside Chat. Tammy will not be joining us. She's expecting grandson to be coming along. She knows the name, but she's not going to share it. She shared it with me after the live stream, but we were just talking and stuff, and we just says, okay. She goes, don't tell anybody. I'm not going to tell you, but she did say on the live stream that it's going to be a boy, but she's not sharing the name. It's real cool what they did. But she won't be here on this Monday or the following Monday. And so this Monday is going to be Dutch ovens. Different ways you can cook in it. And we'll probably cover just Dutch ovens, so I'll probably also cover other cast iron pots and pans as well. Next Tuesday here is going to be communications, silent and scrambled. All right, so that's what's coming up next week. And then once again, the following Saturday, the 27th, is Doc Bones and Nurse Amy here. Oh, Shadow Scout says, you're not allowed to take out medication for 3 months and no more than that. What's interesting, I know some people that their doctors won't give them stuff and everything else. And so when they have something that they need to get, certain pain pills, they go in there really complaining about it. And so he goes, this is, you get so many pills, but I'm not going to give you any more. And they really don't need that many. So they take what they actually need and then they put the rest in the cupboard. Just so they have some in storage. Yeah. That's one of the things that's kind of difficult to network properly without raising red flags all over the place. And sneaking in here at the very last as we're getting ready to shut down is Vitra. Hey. So just to remind everybody. So if friends, families, neighbors, coworkers come to you and say, "Hey, these guys out there saying we don't need to get prepared," remember, start off with hey, getting prepared is insurance. Look what happened with the winter storms going on right now. people are acting like idiots trying to rush out and buy food and toilet paper and stuff. And some of the stores are limiting what they're selling, and they didn't have generators. They lost all their refrigerated produce, meats, dairy, and stuff like that. And so yeah, you need to get your supplies so you have your insurance for that when it happens. But just let them know it's the people that are doing that may be putting out that information because they have alternative plans to deal with people who aren't prepared. All right. So as always, everyone, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps: water, food, medicine, clothing, and learn a new skill. Even it's a simple skill of learning how to pressure can, learning how to water bath can, learning how to process a chicken. Learn a skill. All right. Take care, and I'll see you around.